Hello, good people. My name is Paulina Nohai, and welcome to my channel where I will be sharing my personal journey with God, Jesus Christ, my lessons, my revelations, my understandings, my views, some observations, and I hope it will bless and inspire somebody else. And I'm going to start with a short story about myself. I was born and raised in Ukraine. Yes, I know, I don't look Ukrainian and I don't look European in any way. And that is why, because my mom is Ukrainian, but my dad is Korean, although he was born and raised in Turkmenistan. So what I always say, I'm 99% Ukrainian and 1% Korean, which is just by look. My first introduction to Christianity happened when I was 11. My friend took me to church where she and her family went to in a small village back home in Ukraine. Then I started growing up, I became a teenager, a rebellious teenager, and I drew far away from God. But thank God at the age of 18, I started going to church in Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine, where I was living and studying at that moment. And if you'd like to hear the whole story of how I went from having God and knowing God as a miracle maker to having a very close relationship with Him, let me know in the comments below. So since the video is called How I Ended Up in Canada, I'll go straight to that. But first we need to go to 2010. That's where I became very serious in my faith and I dedicated my life to Christ. I've always been very thirsty and hungry for God. And back then in my church, we had lots of teachings on purpose, life purpose. And of course, I wanted to know it too. So I kept bugging God about my purpose. And it happened. He gave me the word, which I did not understand. By the word, I mean scripture from the Bible. And also in my spirit, I felt that I would be going to North America one day. But years were going by and nothing was happening and nothing was changing. And North America started becoming something like maybe I made it up, even though I had multiple revelations about me ministering in this part of the world. So I felt kind of trapped in the things I was doing until December 2021. That's when it all changed. Before the New Year's, I decided to go on solitude, as I always do every month or every 2 months. And I heard a message, a very encouraging message that refreshed and restored my faith and my hope. I'm gonna leave the link to this sermon in the description below. This message reminded me that God is never in a hurry, but He's never late, and that His promises always come true. So I was very excited about 2022. I was full of hope, ideas, plans, which were ruined by the full-scale war that started in my country. I felt like nothing mattered, really. Everything I planned, everything I was thinking about, everything I was dreaming about faded away, but God was always there. In 2021, I became a part of a project called Dramatize Me. And in 2022, the team decided to open the production in Poland. In April, they offered me to move to Poland to act there and also to move to a safer place. After some thinking, I decided to do that. And that was the best decision I made in the past few years. And that's where I started looking for God's answers again, praying more, going on solitudes, asking God what's next, because I knew that something was about to change. At the end of May, my friend came to visit me and we went to Warsaw to have a walk and see the city. As we were on our way to take the subway, I met a woman I hadn't seen for 4 years, and we were never really close. And the first thing she told me after saying hi, you must go to Canada. So the lady told me everything about the program and I was shocked. Of course, I went to my prayer room again and asked God to confirm. 2 days later, I got my confirmation through another friend who I met in the mall. I applied in June. In August, I got my visa. My friend who came to visit me in May decided to apply too. So she and I received visas in August and we were ready to go. But the main problem was I had no money to buy the tickets. One-way ticket cost $1,000+ US. So I told God, you told me to go to Canada. You provide for me. What happened next was a true miracle. Today's my birthday, September 5th. Exactly a year ago, a friend of mine decided to surprise me with a present, 500 euros. So in my head, I was excited. I was like, okay, so I have 50% of the amount. And I said, God, thank you, 50% is cool. I need another 500. 3 weeks later, my friend decides to look for tickets. And by that time, we had no idea when we want to go to Canada. And I perfectly remember that evening. She sent me a text. I found perfect tickets. Frankfurt, Azores, Toronto, with a day in Azores. The price was 485 euros. After this, I was completely sure it was God's will for me to go to Canada. But miracles didn't stop there. Apart from the tickets, we needed a place to live. And with the amount of Ukrainians coming to Canada, it was pretty hard to find hosts. And the more I prayed, the more assured I was that I was not going to find a place, that it was taken care of. The only hope we had was the Red Cross. Thank you guys for that. They provided free accommodation for 2-3 days in the hotel, and we hoped it would be enough for us to find hosts once we are in Canada. So when we were choosing the dates for our flight, my friend offered me 15th of October because it was the last day of rent for both her and me. But again, somewhere inside of my heart, I felt it was the wrong date. So we picked a date 1 week later, and that was another miracle. As we were boarding, we were the last to enter the plane. There were just 2 seats left. So we sat next to a man. As the plane took off and we kind of started talking, the man found out that we're from Ukraine, and he asked us if we have a place to stay. He said we didn't have a place to stay, and he said he would ask his friend if she could host us, because she hosted 2 Ukrainians before us. And if she said no, he would host us and help us. I have no idea how God does that, but that was amazing. And you might have guessed, we stayed with him because his friend couldn't host us. That's how I ended up in Canada. By this video, I just wanted to encourage some of you and say that if God has promised something to you or showed something to you, He will make it come true in His time. And if you don't know your purpose yet, I want to encourage you to start praying and asking God to reveal it to you. If you want to know how I discovered my purpose and how God revealed and gave me visions and more scriptures from the Bible, let me know in the comments below. I will be more than glad to share it with you. Thank you guys if you got to the end of this video. I will be happy if you like this video or subscribe to my channel. That's all for now. We're gonna meet in the next video. Please take good care of yourselves and may God bless you all.